Hello everybody, please let me know if you can hear me, please. If you could type in the chat if you can hear me, you should be able to hear me. And should be able to see my screen, my charts. Great, thank you, Mike. So you can all hear me now. We're just gonna wait one more minute. Hey Lucian, hey guys, how's everything? How's trading? Good morning, everyone. Let's just wait a few seconds just to get started. And it's the best period for you, Mike. Trading related, I guess. So yeah, we're getting there. And today's a special day because Labor Day ends the summer doldrums, and we will start seeing, as for tomorrow, so more volatility in the markets and more participants return to the markets, and we can expect more I guess normal patterns in the market, so everything goes back to normal. Okay, guys, let's get started now. My name is Sol. Welcome, glad to be with you here. We're doing this London session, and as usual on Mondays, we're gonna go through the major pairs and some crosses. And of course, if you have a special request, a pair that you follow and you want us to review, we can do that as well with pleasure. Just remember, this is not this is the way I read the market. This the way I identify key levels in the market, and I will do this exercise on longer time frames, on the dailies or hourly, so we can have some clue or a sense of what can we expect for this upcoming week. Of course, these are not buy or sell signals or recommendations. It's only the way I read the market. So just please be responsible for your own trading. With that being said, I wanna cover a topic today, which is called the swap zones, and you might be related to this topic. Maybe you don't know it in this name, but you might have heard of key levels that once broken start acting as the opposite key level, meaning resistance levels that once broken start acting as supports, or supply areas that once broken start acting as demand areas. And last week we had exactly that on the daily chart. So we have the very important key levels that were broken, and now we can expect of those to start behaving as the opposite side of the key level. Okay, so I will start with the Aussie USD on the dailies, and we were following this downtrend, okay, on the daily charts, and we formed weeks ago now this supply area that was an important supply. Fundamentals led that supply area to broke down, and usually after that kind of break we get a test of that area, and we tend to see a continuation lower, a continuation or a reaction. Okay, but in this case we saw nothing. Okay, we just saw how the market approached that area, tested it, okay, right here, but there wasn't any important reaction to the downside. And instead of that, we see the break higher, no reaction at all. All the supply here was consumed, and now we had a break above the previous supply area. So now that makes this last supply area a key demand area, a key demand level. So all that resistance and supply that was here before, it will be now a demand or a support area. So what we can expect from now is continuation higher. But before that continuation, we tend to see a retest of that breaking area. Okay, and now let me show you an example. If I go back, okay, just let's see where that push higher starts. Okay, if you see this area right here, on real time, a breakdown from this area here made or created here a supply area, correct? So once the market came and tested that, there was no reaction lower, but instead there was a break higher. And now this area became a swap zone. And if you see where this new demand was created, okay, or why this leg higher stopped right there and just reversed aggressively, you can see it's right about that swap area. Okay, this created kind of a Quasimodo pattern as well. Okay, we reacted to that demand. Okay, and we are trading higher. So now let's zoom in again. What I will be looking to do for next week, for this upcoming week, is to align myself to the bullish leg, okay, to the bullish momentum. Now this is way overextended. Okay, I don't expect this just continue higher and higher and higher. I would like to see pullback. Okay, how deep? Not sure. Okay, but I will go to lower time frames. Okay, let's get rid of this one. Okay, if we go to the hourlies, now we can start to identify some demands. And let's go back to the dailies. Okay, so I'll pull back to those areas. This one is a bit close, but it's the closest support. Okay, that was resistance there. Now it will become kind of the support, but it's quite close. So I would rather to wait for a pullback maybe to this area right here, or even to this area down here, and then a continuation higher. So every pullback to the downside and a confirmation, a signal to go long, can be a candlestick pattern or a reversal pattern or something in this area around here. I will be looking to go long. Okay, so that's my expectation for the market for this next thing. This prior supply now has become a swap zone, has become a demand area. So a pullback to that area, I would like to go long. And you can see we should see, okay, we do have some resistance level here, but I don't see any clear supply up to that area. Okay, so my new targets are those levels there. I would like to go to wait for a pullback and then to go long. Okay, that's my plan for this week. And we can see a clearer example on the Kiwi dollar. Let's win. Okay, we can see kind of similar price action. We had this supply, and again you can see the break lower, the pullback, the test, no reaction to the downside, but a break. Now look how overextended is this run. Okay, if we measure the legs, okay, the runs on this pair, from pivot point to pivot point, so when this market on the daily has been trending, okay, not in a choppy sideways market, but in a leg, so the has been around 370, 320, 300. Okay, so between 300, around 300 pips. Okay, each leg. Okay, once the market is really trending. And now this one right here, this actual movement has run 370 pips without any retracement or sideways movement or nothing. So this is way overextended. I do not expect this to continue just higher in a linear way. I really truly expect a pullback again to this swap zone, okay, to this now demand area, and then a continuation higher. So my setup is the same, and we will see this setup basically on all major pairs. I want to see a pullback to this area, and then a continuation higher. Now, if I want to refine my entries, okay, I want to go to lower time frames to look for demand areas, and then we can okay, so I'll pull back to this level, this level, this level, or they are all valid entry points now to the long side. So this is my setup for the Kiwi and the Aussie. Good morning, Banco. Welcome. So guys, if you have any questions, just type it in the chat. I'll go and answer those as well. Okay, so similar setup on the Kiwi and the Aussie. I don't want to go long right now. Okay, I don't want to chase that momentum. I don't think, or this should not continue just higher. We will have some supply acting right now, resistance levels as well back here that will bring that pullback in, and then after that pullback and a confirmation to go long, I'll go long. Okay, I really like the formation, the price action that we see right now. For me, it's much easier to trade on these kind of markets than on these kind of markets. Okay, so in these ranging choppy markets that we have seen. So once I start seeing and identifying healthy legs, healthy impulses, healthy retracements, I'm very comfortable with those, with that price action. So now let's jump into the why the market behaved like this. It was during the summer. It's very usual to see this kind of behavior, these ranges, the summer draw rooms. We have very few participants in the market, and there's a lot of interest of keeping exchange rates balanced. So it's very, as if we think of seasonality in Forex, it's very common during the summer to see this kind of behavior, these ranges, especially on the Kiwi USD. Why have we seen this kind of behavior? I don't know what's the fundamental reason. I don't follow the Kiwi in a fundamental way, like to give you an explanation of why is this has been the character of the market. But I just identify that, and I adapt my trading to that. Okay. Here. Okay, let's jump over to the Euro USD. And we'll see, we kind of have a similar pattern, but it's not as clear. We did have the push lower retracement, push lower retracement, push lower retracement, push lower, and now we have been just pushing higher and higher and higher. Now the change in momentum or in bias, I kind of feel it, but it's not as clear as in the Aussie or New Zealand. Of course, we did have this area, supply area. We had no reaction to that, and we broke it. So now that will act as a demand area or support area. We now see a lot of support back here. You can even see this kind of bar. I know, this pin bar. There's a lot of people they like to trade this kind of signals. Okay, they look at the pin bar and they go short. Correct? That's a sell signal. And if you think about it, this is kind of aligned with the past movements. But I think the context now is not the right to go short. If we go and learn and analyze how that pullback was formed, it was all on Friday during the non-farm payroll. So really, there's no supply here that formed clearly that pin bar. When I trade pin bars, I really want to see a clear supply that pushed that market down, and then I expect a continuation lower. Okay, so that's when I really go long or short when I see a pullback. But I want to do like an X-ray to those pullback to see how was formed, and if I really see the reason behind that pullback, then I go short. So of course there might be some continuation lower. Okay, again, we're reacting to this resistance. We might see it. Okay, we might see the retracement, but I wouldn't expect from this signal, from this pin bar, just to see a very aggressive movement all the way to the lows. Okay, that might be the trigger just for the retracement. I'm looking actually to go long right now. Okay, I see a lot of demand. If we go to hourlies, you can see a lot of demand areas. Okay, here, similar to the Kiwi, and I would be more comfortable going now long than short. I think we might either go sideways on this movement, or we should see now a retracement higher. The fundamentals are there. The US announced, Powell's speech, just giving clues and speaking about a weakening of the dollar. Okay, they want to weaken the currency. So the fundamentals for a weak dollar. So I want to align my trading for that. I see now that reflect on my technicals. I see the swap zone here. I'll wait for a pullback, and then I'll try to go short on this market. Okay, so Euro USD long again. Yeah, Mayor, the Aussie and New Zealand are way overextended. I don't want to buy them right now. Okay, we'll just show it. Let me go back quickly to that. Okay, I don't want to buy that. If any, I would like to sell. Okay, but I prefer to wait for the sell to happen. Okay, to the retracement to happen, and then go long. Okay, this is way overextended. Way overextended. Okay, let's go now to the pound dollar here. That gap. Pound dollar has been more balanced than the other pairs. We can see, load it a little bit. We can see how the pullback hasn't been as aggressive, as overextended. We don't have the swap zone we find in other currency pairs. So we're now reacting to all these. There will be a lot of resistance here, trying to hold this from continuing higher. There's no key levels here. I don't see the key levels. I see the key level only here at the tops. So for me, when I don't see the pattern or the bias as quickly, I don't try to just make it up. Okay, if I don't see it, I don't trade it. So for me, this week, pound dollar, I will be on the sidelines. My bias, if it's aligned or similar to the Euro, USD, and Kiwi and Aussie going long, so I guess I would go, or I would try to go long as well on this one. But for me, I don't see the same key patterns broken or the same swap zones to confirm that I should be going long. So until I don't see more new information, I don't see anything here. The only thing I have very clear is this demand. I guess if I go to shorter time frames, we might find more demand areas. But the challenge here is that I don't see the clear momentum to the upside. Okay, that's my challenge here. So really on the sidelines for pound dollar, I prefer to go to the charts where I do see a pattern I like to trade. Now let me go to the dollar yen. Okay, dollar yen is on forming a flag and a triangle. So we tend to see these kind of formations when you have two very balanced currencies. Okay, when you have two very strong currencies or two very weak currencies. In this case, I guess we're seeing here both dollar and both yen very weak, and that's why we see this kind of triangle formation. Of course, we can draw this similar ways to draw this, but the fact is that we're forming lower highs but also higher lows. So the way to trade this is really to wait for a break of this this formation. Okay, so the way to trade this is to wait for a break, because if we analyze this on a supply and demand point of view, all supply here has been consumed by this next movement. So we had supply here, has been tested already. This will form supply, it will be tested soon. There was demand, has been tested already. There was new demand, has been tested already. So no supply, no demand. So we tend to see an aggressive breakout. For that, we really want to go to check an economic calendar and wait for a fundamental release or something, because those are the triggers for a strong breakout. Okay, a breakout to the downside. There's no demand, no demand, no demand to stop that, or a breakout to the upside. No supply, no supply. Okay, no fresh supply. It was consumed already. So the breakout itself creates a new demand or new supply. So if this market breaks aggressively to the upside, the breaking point or the breaking area, okay, it will happen something around this area, that will create a fresh demand. And then what you want to do as traders is to wait for a retest of that demand area. The same way we always trade supply and demand areas, we wait for the first touch. And once we get a retest of the supply of this demand area, we want to go long. If it breaks to the downside, it will create, okay, the break itself, it will create a fresh supply area where we want to wait for a pullback and retest of that fresh supply, and then we want to go short. Okay, so that's the way to trade it. Yeah, Lucian. Yeah. So you can really draw these lines the way you want. It only the thing here is to help your eyes to identify that we are compressing. Okay, that's the right word that you're using. We're compressing on a triangular way. Soon we should see a break to the upside or downside. That will create a new key level, either supply or demand. We want to wait for a retest of that area, and then we want to join the movement. Okay, that's the rationale behind these breakouts. You know, when you go and you just see, yeah, that's the way to trade triangles. Okay, many blogs or YouTubes or whatever just explain, yeah, the way to trade a triangle breakout is to break for the retest and then go long. But why? Okay, the reason is the breakout itself creates a new demand or supply area. And if you see a breakout, but really not a fundamental breakout, but a breakout, you know, very weak movement to the downside, technically it's a breakout, but it's not a fundamental breakout. You really want to see an aggressive breakout, which creates itself a new demand area or supply area here, a key level to trade, okay, afterwards. So that's the dollar. Something similar, refresh. Something similar is happening on the on dollar franc. We don't have the triangle as clearly, but we were having very nice price action, and suddenly we've started moving on a messy sideways ranging market. We spoke about, you know, weeks ago, we spoke about this Quasimodo forming, broke down. We reacted to this demand back here. We moved up. Now we were waiting for a pullback and then continuation higher. Okay, we were waiting for a pullback here and then continuation higher. That didn't happen. Since then, instead, we have been moving just sideways. Again, kind of compressing. So anytime you start to to go short from this pin bar here or long from this pin bar here, of course, that doesn't work out, okay? Because the context is not right. It's not the right one. We do have fresh demand, and we do have fresh supply. And if we go to our list, we can see that much clearer. Okay, so let me refine that. Okay, you can see the supply there and the demand back there. Okay, so we'll leave that. Let's go back. Okay, so so we might see a lot of false breakout here. Just be prepared for that, because we have a range, a little compression here that will try to break up. It might just touch that supply and then go back, or we might see a try to go, a breakout to the downside, will face demand and then go back into the range. So just be very careful if you try to catch the breakout itself, because a breakout here might just meet the supply and then will be pushed back down. Same here with the demand. Just be careful with that. The way I would trade it is actually I would go short here or long here, or I would wait for a clear breakout, but this whole range. Okay? So if I see a clear breakout of these levels, or a clear breakout of these down levels, then I will go short or long. Till then, I'd rather stick into my, to going short from top or long from the bottom. Again, we're seeing here two very weak currencies. Both countries trying to weaken their currency to bring more investments. So that's why we see this kind of behavior. So just, I don't know, for me, it's not the greatest setup or the greatest trade. I would move on. Okay, I would wait for new information, new confirmation patterns, new confirmation, new patterns, and then I would decide how to go. If I would just clear. Right now, I just rather, unless we have a key event or fundamental something, I'd rather shorting this area and buying this area. Okay, with new information, I will be more wiser and I will decide how to play it. And let's just go to the dollar CAD and mirror New Zealand JPY. We'll look at that. Okay. Dollar CAD has also been kind of hard to read it, because we were forming clear signals of a trend reversal. Okay, we're forming higher highs and higher lows. Okay, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher lows. But from high to low, I start to see some divergence here. Actually, let's see if we connect those dots, you see how these pushes are being very, very weak. Okay, we start to see how this is kind of turning around. Okay, let me see if I can find the divergence. I see it with my eyes. Let me see if I get some confirmation. Okay, look at this is what I was looking. So look at how in price we are forming higher highs, correct? That's kind of a trend definition. That's an uptrend. But on the MACD, and if you throw, I guess, almost all indicators, you will see that. Okay, we have a lower high. So that's a kind of a signal to a change in momentum. Okay, so we have this divergence. So I don't think without fundamentals the dollar will strengthen enough to form a new high. And if that high really is a new high, it won't be that powerful with a lot of momentum. So actually, what I would like to do right now is to look for spots to go long, to go short. Okay, so I want to see a pullback to a fresh supply. So let's do that exercise. Let me erase one. Okay, fresh supply here, very clear. Let me go see the hourly to see if we can find another one. So there's supply here, but it has been consumed. There might be some supply here. I don't like this week that tested the supply. But that's not my favorite one, but I do like this one. Okay, so right now, actually, I would like to see a pullback, maybe to this one or this one, but ideally all the way to this one, and then going short. If that happens, forms kind of head and shoulders. Maybe you can see it, shoulder, head, shoulder, and that would be the pattern I would be looking to trade. So I want to really work on my patience, wait for the pullback to come here, meet this supply, okay, this supply right here, and then go short. And that's the pattern I want to see on the dollar account. So this is a nice one. I like the confirmation from the MACD. Okay, the divergence is there. So I want to go short, just not right now. I need to wait for the pullback and then to go short. And I think we have covered all majors. We might go now to the maybe pound yen, but let's take some questions here. Yeah, Lucia, so we covered the pound dollar, but we can go to the yen. We saw the yen how it's behaving. Let's go to the pound yen. One I wanna go. Yen has been very weak, and we can see that against the pound. And let's see euro yen how that looks. Okay, you can see how almost every currency, but the dollar, the US dollar, is strengthening against the yen. So you really want to short the yen. So right now you want to wait for a pullback. Okay, euro yen. We finally see a swap zone again. We have this supply, no reaction to it. Now a pullback to that area. That's a swap zone. We've been talking about that, and then go long. Not as clear pattern on pound yen. Where is it? But you can see how the pound is strengthening against the yen as well. So here the last kind of challenge would be, the obstacle would be this supply. But if this supply gets broken, we should see a continuation higher. So pound pairs, I'm kind of in the sidelines. I don't really like the behavior on the pound, but the euro yen, for example, it's a nice one. Okay, swap zone. We finally see more trend. Okay, and not choppy. So we see movement up, overextension, of course. So I do want to see a pullback and then a continuation higher. Okay, yen is very weak. We can see it with our eyes. Okay, just the indicators might give us some confirmation of that. And there was a request to check. Where is it? New Zealand yen. I haven't opened it, but I guess we're gonna see something similar. Okay. Look, this looks almost almost identical to Kiwi USD. Look at that. Okay, that's Kiwi USD. So we kind of see the same price action. We spoke about both yen and dollar being weak. Okay, so we have a lot of choppiness back here, supply area down back here. Now forms fresh demand. I guess we will see demand also down here. Way overextended. I don't want to chase that. I don't want to go long. I want to wait for a pullback and then buy either here or down here. You can see this, if you go to lower time frames and you analyze this kind of formation, this is all compression. Look at all these tails, they consume back supply, okay? This tail consumes back supply, this tail consumes this 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 supply. So let's see if we can find that on a lower time frame and we can confirm that. Okay, you can see the compression. You can see there's no trend here. It's all compression, compression, compression. You can see how it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Little pullback. Okay, kind of supply here consumed already. Up, down, compression, 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 compression. Supply here already consumed. Kind of supply here already consumed. Kind of supply here already consumed. Supply. Okay, so if we manage to go to get into a long position, that would be a beautiful trade because there will be no supply here to stop it. So we are now reacting. Okay, if price stops, it will stop because of this. Now let's go see that. Okay, that there's a supply. So let's throw some lines. Go back to the. Okay, so right now we are reacting to this supply. This is a fresh supply. We're now testing, so we might see between today or tomorrow the retracement we're looking for, and I really want to go long on this pair. Okay, because if I get on a nice long, there will be no supply back here to stop my trade to go all the way to the tops. Maybe a break of that. I'm not sure if we're gonna see a break of that. For sure not in this week, but I want to go long. This is overextended. I don't want to buy it. I want to wait for a pullback and then I want to buy. Okay, guys, I think that's it. We cover all the majors and we cover swap zones and we saw overextensions and we've seen how the dollar and the yen are very, very weak. Also the franc is very weak. So thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate you coming. We are going to have fewer sessions during this week. There's some national holidays over here, so just stay tuned to your calendar and your dashboard, and we might go back to this way of doing the trading rooms on YouTube lives. Just keep coming and have a nice trading week, and see you next time, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.